Hello, Star Lovelies. It's a great time to be a soul. Today we're talking about...
So, hello, everybody. Here we are together to talk about 2025 cosmic chaos, but it's such great opportunity for people. So I'm super excited to be here with Crista Grasso. I'm going to do a quick intro because, we should, right? So I'm going to introduce myself, then Crista. So here I am. I'm Kim Woods. I'm a master astrologer and business strategist. I'm actually the trusted authority for the new era because here we are. We're in a new era, uncharted territory, and being able to navigate in these times requires your soul to lead. And when you have your soul leading, you become rich and powerful, you make big impact, you leave your legacy, and that's what I'm all about. And then I am here with one of my favorite people. She's I'm going to just say the scaling strategist ever, Crista Grasso. She's also an operations alchemist. She's the founder of the Simplify to Scale method. She's the founder of the Lean Out method. She's the founder of the Lean Out method podcast. She's got a new certification, Strategic Ops Institute. I mean, okay, Crista, I don't think that you create enough things, but the big important thing is that you actually help your clients scale, and they have a quality of life. They have a business that is not too heavy, and they're able to live a rich and fulfilled life. So, hello, Crista. Welcome today.
Hello. I'm so excited to be here today. This is going to be such a fantastic talk.
So what's been going on? I'm going to go into your stars right now. I'm going to go into your stars. And so when I do the star peak, I had promised a star peak. I haven't done one of these for 18 months. Last time I did one was with you. Just started off that series that you were talking about, right? That was the summer of 2023. So last time I did these live. Isn't that crazy?
That's wild.
Yeah.
That was when you and I kind of first met. So look at us now.
I know. And you had that beautiful idea. I was asking about the podcast and I didn't know what I wanted to do or if I should do it or I wanted to test things. And you came up with that beautiful example of, hey, you know what? Why don't you test out on LinkedIn and do a series of lives and do some star peaks and do some things that you would normally do and just find out if people care about it. Like find out if that's going to be a thing for you. And then everybody loved it. Everybody went cuckoo pants over it. So I was like, oh, I guess I'm doing a podcast. I think I'm on we just launched episode 135. I think I've recorded up through 145.
In such a short period of time, that's wild. And it's amazing.
And here we are. But this is where innovation, right? So I went into this example on purpose because yes, you had that really good idea, but you'll construct behind the idea. Think if Tony Stark was just out there just like thinking of good ideas and never did anything about it. He wouldn't be flying around in a great suit. Right? True. So this is where that structured flow comes back in, where we can see that there's lots of opportunity. We can understand and appreciate. We can plan our strategy around that. But if we don't take the time to actually curate the opportunity or to actually make sure that there's something in terra firma about it, then it's just an opportunity that's mildly interesting. Right? So
I remember one time, if I could tell a really quick story.
So absolutely.
Came to me with this idea back when I had my jewelry brand and I was manufacturing and creating a lot of product. They were like, I have this incredible idea. It's something that you need to do. And here's the thing. I'll give you the idea. We'll be 50-50 partners. And I'm like, okay, cool. And what are you doing for 50-50 partnership? Well, I came up with the idea. I was like, okay. And like, are you going to help run the business? Well, no, you would do all that. I have the idea. And I'm like, it's not 50% of the business. Like the idea, I'm sorry, that's not really worth much because there's the whole like have to build the entire business, buy all the product, sell all the product, run the entire business. But they really thought that just because they had the idea, that was the thing. But I think as entrepreneurs in general, people can fool themselves into thinking, I've got the idea, I'm super innovative, this is amazing. But without the execution and making it real, it doesn't get very far other than a little bit of excitement at the time of having it. And then it just falls flat.
And that's exactly the dopamine hit I'm talking about. Like when you learn about the stars, it's like, it's interesting. I always say it's like mildly interesting because that's great. Like your mind might remember, oh, okay, March 30th, big deal. July 7th, big deal. Okay, there's going to be quiet in the first quarter. It's going to be really busy in the second quarter. And then the last half of the year, it's going to be like, vroom, vroom, off to the races we go. Great. Knowing that is really good. Are you going to construct your success map on this? Are you going to actually know what your energy is and let your soul lead so you have that precision and that alignment? That's the key. That's honestly the key. And so I want to dive into your stars a little bit. Okay. So right now, everybody in the world is going through this Plutonian, like, what's my future look like? How can I make it go? And Aquarius wants things to happen immediately. Like one of the most impatient signs ever, because that Pluto and Aquarius for you, where it hits in your stars, it's your original creations are getting ready for the world. But the other side of the equation, the world is actually ready for your individual original creations.
And I believe literally it is the time where the world is ready for it, because without it, so many businesses are going to be in seriously rough shape. Like it's like that perfect timing where I feel like everything has come together, where people are actually going to stop and listen and be seeking what I'm sharing.
Yeah, no, I love that. I do. And honestly, your stars are telling you that. Like literally, that's the message from your stars. And when we look at that big wake up call, right? So that timing is the end of March to the middle of May. But honestly, these are going to last for the next 14 years, right? Like this is a long energy that we're going to be able to utilize. And it's about getting real. And for you, it's a massive success push for you to be on big stages. And really, really from that strategic influence perspective, being able to give that voice and being able to give that example and tangible, like underpinning. And then this large audience and future orientation in like-minded communities. I'm so excited for you.
I'm excited too. And then there's that practical aspect of, right, integration, my word for this year, right? So how do I integrate the space to make that happen? Because I can easily go the whole year and still be thinking, oh, you know what would have been really interesting? So it's like knowing that it's the integration of how do I tactically create space in my schedule to be able to do that.
Absolutely. Absolutely. And so this is where I always love to think about like support and opportunity, right? So do I have enough support to then take advantage of opportunities? I'm going to talk about our success signatures in a few moments. And so I'll just give a little glimmer right now. Crista and I are both intuitive visionaries. Our biggest thing for 2025 is to be able to curate opportunities. I'm going to go through everybody's signature and, after we finish this part of this. And the reason why that's so important is because energetically we want to align with things, right? So if you're not energetically aligned, then you could be like me, or if I'm not energetically aligned, okay. Right before Christmas, I had gone through the 35 speaking engagements that I had initiated in May when I had said, I wish I had speaking engagements. I got 35 that came in within 2 weeks, and it took me until the end of December to be able to materialize these. And I only had like 2 or 3 that got put off, they got rescheduled. Right at the Christmas week, I said, I really wish that I had some speaking and some opportunities of groups and engagement. I have 57 of them. I misspoke when I said yesterday I had 45. I actually organized them last night. I have 57. So think about that. That's like 5 a month or 6 a month, right? So curating those, making sure that they string together, making sure they make sense, making sure I'm really strategic about doing those. For you, that word is integration. For me, that word is precision. But we're talking about your stars. Jupiter is going to be in Cancer for you, for everybody on June 9th, but for you, it's in your house of money. And Jupiter is the money guy. How does that?
Jupiter.
Yeah. Hello, Jupiter. He's going to be there for 1 full year.
Okay. Amazing.
Yeah, 100%. And there'll be a little bit of bravery that's going to be required from you when we get to probably like the December timeframe. And so you want to just make sure that you've got things in lockstep, and like you're going to have like a big gulp in that December timeframe, and you're going to be like this. Okay.
Bring it.
And honestly, that Uranus and Gemini for you is in this lightning bolt of innovative success, but there is a hidden element of it. There is a spiritual element to it. So it's for you to be really in tune with your soul.
Mhm.
So, our minds can say we want something, but our soul is going to be kicking our pants.
Oh, yeah. And if I let myself, my mind will take over every single time. So
Most people, right? That's most of us. I would love for you to tell two short little stories about Strategic Ops Institute, how you just had to do it.
hmm Yeah, I mean, Strategic Ops Institute is my new brand that I launched in October. And it is a brand that I had wanted to launch for about 18 months. And the timing just did not end up happening. There were like these big life events that kept happening and these things that, I mean, I am a planner, so I am really strategic in how I approach things and how I do things. And it felt like that thing that just could not happen. Like, I don't know if you've ever had those things in business where it's like the thing that you want most, and somehow it's like roadblock, roadblock, roadblock. And I finally hit last year and I had another roadblock that was really a pretty big one. And I looked at it and I was like, nope, I'm launching. I'm launching now. I don't care if the launch doesn't look like what I want it to look like. I energetically need to move this forward and get this out into the world. And I know that it is time that businesses need this so badly that I am launching this now. And so I made the decision to do it. I made the decision to do it in October. I barely promoted it. I barely talked about it because of a lot of the personal stuff that I had going on at the time. And I was like, it's okay. I'm still moving forward and I'm launching. And I had my most successful launch that I've had in years, ironically enough.
This is because your soul was like, wouldn't shut up about it, right? Like your soul was like, I am driving the train here. And it doesn't matter what's happening in your life. It doesn't matter what your mind is telling you. This is what it means to be led by your soul. And your soul is going to make things work out for you. Like that's just what's going to happen, right? There's that flow that comes in. And it just absolutely works beautifully. Yeah, we'll talk about the stage in just a minute because I do want to go through the magic triangle that's being set up. And it's going to be really intense between 2024 and 2028, but it extends through the early 2030s. So again, you and I are strategists, right? So it's interesting, like, yes, let's get ready for 2025. It's been 8 days, right? Like here we are at the very beginning. But yet, when I look at the chaos in 2025, I wanted to widen the lens to say, where's our support coming from? Like, because again, if we have all these opportunities and we're not actually, they don't feel like opportunities, they feel too chaotic, they don't feel really good, we're not able to really manifest them. Is there something in the stars that are helpful to us? And there's, like I said, this beautiful triangle. And it's about like a quest for freedom. It's about that pioneering spirit to like break through to new ground. It is about a spiritual awakening. This is where the soul, the new era is here. It's uncharted territory. The soul is going to lead, whether we say yes or not. Right? Because also, we already talked about your structured flow, but also what happened during this time frame. In the same time frame of October, what did we do in Denver?
Seriously, we did one heck of a keynote on the stage at the beginning of October.
Yeah, 100%. It was so amazing. And so you getting this push, not only to launch a brand new brand, but to keep the current brand going, to have your major client be like in a massive, deadline orientation. Oh, by the way, can you go do this amazing? You did a 2.5-hour workshop, which was awesome. And then we did something on the stage that people are still talking about.
Oh, yeah. I mean, I get messages all the time about our keynote. Like, everyone's like, when are you going to do more things together? Are you going to take this? Are you going to do it again? So
I love that. And this is where, like, for you in particular, for your Star Peak, it's this hidden treasure that I mentioned before for finding yourself in large audiences in international arenas. And this is over a 4-year expanse. This is like a whole sea of opportunity for you.
love sea of opportunity.
Isn't that awesome? Isn't that awesome? And honestly, letting your soul lead. So what does this mean? Don't succumb to hiding, because there's like the flip side of visibility is hiding.
Mm-hmm.
And then don't be too distracted. Shiny object.
Me, hide, get distracted. I'm sorry, what?
And don't get stretched too thin.
No, I would never.
Juggling the 2.5 hour workshop with the thing. Yeah, no, you never would do that.
No, never.
Because here's the thing when our soul says yes, we are scared out of our wits and we are reluctant. We are going to drag our heels. It's like not our mind isn't the one to say, oh, yay, this is so good. So when people come to me and they say, yes, I'm living my soul mission, and I ask them, were you scared to death? If they say no, I'm like, then that's mildly interesting. Again, with that phrase, you could be close, but you're not on it. Because if you are not shaking in your boots, if every single thing you've never wanted to do isn't hitting you in the face, it's not your soul mission. Just not. Yep. I know it kind of blows, but after you get over that fear, that's where you get that power wave. So this is the opportunity. So in 2025, there's going to be a lot of people hitting that fear smack in the face. And for those of us who have done a tremendous amount of work in this area, we are going to be able to help lead them through this time. So, I just want to talk about a client that I had who came to me. This is what happens. He came to me and he's like, I want to start my own business. And he was in the landscaping world and he had a boss that was total twit. And I looked at his stars and I said, you are not starting your own business. And I love entrepreneurship. His stars absolutely said he was an entrepreneur, but he was giving away his power so much that I said, if we do not clear your path around power, you're going to have terrible clients. You're not going to have people that support you on your team. You're not going to be able to delegate. You're going to be a reluctant leader that's not going to really step fully into your abilities and into your opportunity. When we then put you in leadership, which he was very reluctant to do, he didn't want to deal with people anymore. He was just sick of it. I'm like, if you don't step into leadership in your community and in your business, this is not going to work. So we had him put on his power pants every day. We did all this work for him because we needed him to face that fear of being a leader. And once we did, his first year, he made $250,000, and his second year, he made $500,000.
Amazing. That is not so bad for year 1 and 2 in business. It probably would have been drop a zero if he had done that without you.
100%. And he was making his number, the biggest number he had ever made was $75,000 a year. So we had to open him up to that too. And this is where his soul wanted it. And when I looked at his stars, I'm like, oh, soul's ready. He's not ready. So that's where that alignment comes in, because when your soul leads, that's when you're ready to actually go in and really start to be able to materialize what it is you're intending. Because that's what, like, it doesn't matter. Like, it's mildly interesting. I love what you talked about with the idea. It's like mildly interesting if you have an idea, right? But when you actually get to the point where you understand your own energy, then you can be really making better attunements. And so we mentioned it before, Crista, we are both intuitive visionaries. And so what that means is that we enter the world through our ideas. And then we form things after that. So why does this matter? Because in 12 questions, you can see how you enter the world. Because if your soul is there talking to you and you don't know how to listen to it, and you don't know how you make decisions, and you don't know how you're attracting people, and you don't know how you're utilizing your resources, you're going to be like Kevin, the landscaper that's like has a really crappy job that could have developed a really crappy business. So how do you like being an intuitive visionary, my friend?
I love it. It fits me well. I mean, I'm just an idea generating machine, but I also have learned over the years, I'm such a weird human in that I'm like 50-50. So I feel like where people like have a right-hand person that they have these conversations with, I have this conversation in my own brain. It's exhausting. So I'm like, amazing. I need to look at when I can realistically do this. So this is the conversation that happens in my brain. But yes, I have no shortage of ideas, but I am usually really discerning. And as you said, curation, you used the word curation before. I curate the things I actually commit to and move forward with. Because, oh gosh, my team, they would be in for a world of hurt if we actually had to jump on every idea I had.
I hear you. I hear you. I had a team that had to jump on every idea I had. It didn't work out, right? So talking about 2025, and again, I could go through your sun signatures, and I do that in your Soul Driven Success series. But for right here, right now, I want to go in through energetically because again, we're talking about that flow and the alignment. And so for intuitive visionaries and loving alchemists, it's actually we're in the best position for the 2025 energies, which for us intuitive visionaries, it's been a hell of a long time since I could say that. It's been since forever. So for the intuitive visionary, get yourself on a lot of stages, regardless of what your stars are saying individually. I'm not just saying this because I said this to Krista. Intuitive visionaries, you're going to get a ton of opportunities, but it's the curation of each opportunity that really matters. As I'm looking at my 57, I'm not going to say yes to 57. I'm just not. Right? It's just not a sustainable amount. It just doesn't make any sense. How can I weave them together and braid them together? Then I'm going to say yes. And I'm going to see how they come on. With Loving Alchemists, creating our own stage, which I went ad nauseum about in 2024. So you've been following me for a while and you did. It's time to get real with your people, which is really good. For collaborative explorers and creative superstars, it's a solid year for you. Collaborative explorers, you want to focus on you and put yourself on center stage, whether you're on a panel, whether you're in a team, whatever your position is, you want to put yourself in the center. And then for creative superstars, you want to focus on the details. You want to commit to completing every single thing because that completion, it gets boring. You don't like it. Try to find the magic that you can fuse in it because you do want to do that. So sad to say for wise strategists and ruling warriors, this is a tough year for you. I'm just going to say it. 2025 is not awesome sauce for you. For wise strategists, you can make it better when you move from that left brain and start opening your right brain, when you start developing that intuition. So think about observation and perception and imagination and start having conversations with your intuition. And again, that Soul Driven Success series would be perfect for you. And for ruling warriors, you can gain success by looking at the longer term. You will strive beautifully and you will get those achievements and those wins, but you're not open and really looking left to right to see who's with you. And it's really about the relationships that you're creating right now that are going to be able to amplify your success because connection, collaboration, these are the things that I talk about. And you haven't really been aligned in that, or maybe you have been aligned with that. And if that's the case, then you're going to be really beautifully positioned for this. But I do just want to talk a little bit more about this precision and this alignment. And I'm just going to do it through story. So there's a client, she's a ruling warrior, right? So I adore my ruling warriors. I love you so much, but you're impatient, right? So anybody who's been following me a while knows, like in ruling warriors, I have to do it in one word, like boom, like one word, right? So I have this beautiful ruling warrior client who happens to be a double Gemini. And so what does that mean? She has tons of ideas. She wants to do all these things all the time, but she's a ruling warrior. So she's not like Krista. She's not willing to curate. She's not willing to take advantage of things. She wants the answer in 12 seconds or less. When I met her, she's a very successful stylist out in California. When I met her, it was right at the tail end of the first year of COVID, and she had just bought her studio or her salon. And so imagine the scenario that we were dealing with at the time. Overworking, there were no ideas because there was just no time, right? And her biggest thing from a soul perspective was freedom. So she got the salon thinking that, oh, I'm going to have more freedom because I'm going to be the leading it, which is really good at. And I'm going to have other people do the things. And I'm going to make more money and I'm going to be able to take some time off. Well, didn't materialize then. So we put together a plan that was really great. Again, we had to step through it. Ruling Warrior Gemini, I swear to God, I had to wrap her in I don't know what, in twine or something to get her to do this. But she knew enough that her soul was saying yes to this. So we were able to put a multi-year plan together, which we started off first with her being able to take a vacation. And then we put it so that she then took 8 vacations. By the time we got to 2023, she was on 8 vacations that we had set things up. Last year, her big thing was she wanted to carve out her calendar and her work days so that she only works 3 days a week now. And we did all of this and her revenue never changed because we did it right. And her soul was wanting that ease and freedom. And then we put all the things together for her to be able to get that. And when I just met with her 2 days ago. And when we did, we then said, okay, year over year, you've had flat growth, but you've worked a third. So yay, you, right? She hasn't raised prices either. Like just cost of living once. She hasn't done anything material there. And so we put a plan together for her to raise her revenues by 20%. And I think that's going to be really conservative because with this Gemini energy and this major influx of things coming in, and the fact that her ruling warriorness was patient enough to do this beautiful construction underneath that, I think that's way conservative. I think we're gonna end the year and we're gonna be laughing to each other at the small numbers. They're not small, but like the small percentages that we used.
That's some magic right there. Because on the flip side, what most people do is to try to raise their revenue by 20%. They work 3 times as much and then burn themselves out and wonder why they weren't able to raise their revenue. She was able to sustain while cutting the amount that she works. That is pure magic right there.
100%. And again, it was because this is what her soul wanted. Like literally top of every year, she's like, when can I take my vacations? I don't care what the stars do. Tell me when I can take my vacations. I'm like, okay. And we did massive planning around that. And this is where we were talking about having those ideas, but being able to build the structure behind them. She had the idea. If she didn't build the structure, we wouldn't have gotten there. So that's amazing. And so I adore going live with you. And I'm glad we did go live.
Yeah. And if any of you have questions about what it's really like on the inside, you can DM me too. And I am happy to tell you, but I'm going to tell you now, I'm going to say Kim is amazing. And I feel like you need to be there. So, but feel free to message me.
Thank you. Thank you. And seriously, thank you for people for finding us today right now. And thank you for staying here and hearing all the things. And I will go back with any of the comments and I'm going to go through every single comment and I will answer all the comments. So thank you so much. We adore you. And until next time.
Thank you, everyone. Thanks, Kim.
Thank you for listening and stay tuned for more ways to use the stars strategically to align with your soul purpose, reclaim your power, and increase your prosperity. Please rate and review your favorite episodes, and remember to check out my website at kimwoods.com for my latest forecasts, articles, and offerings. To find out your intuitive success signature, take my 12-question Do You Know, Like, and Trust Yourself quiz and find out how you're living your stars at yourstarmaptosuccess.com. I've so enjoyed our time together as it's filled with the power of the stars plus strategy to clear the pathway to your success. Until next time, happy soul tidings.